In this video, we're going to take a look at how you can learn chords fast. So the first thing that you should know is when you're learning a new chord, that you want to try to get the chord one finger at a time. So here's what I mean by that. You look at a chord chart. Let's say you're going to learn the D chord for the first time. So you would look at the D chord and you would see, okay, your first finger goes on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. So you've got that. So you don't want to move it, you want to keep it there. You don't want to overthink it. You just want to get your fingers down in the right spot and make it as easy on yourself as possible. The next thing you would do is see where your next finger goes. So your 2nd finger would go on the 1st string at the 2nd fret. And then your 3rd finger would go on the 2nd string at the 3rd fret. And then once you have them all in place, you want to try out the chord to make sure that it sounds good. So yeah, in this case I got everything in good shape, sounds nice and clear, nothing's running into each other, so I know it's good. If it wasn't, I would have to adjust my fingers. Usually the problem is that one of your fingers is leaning over onto one of the other strings, and so you'll get something like that, where something is deadened. So you'd put your fingers up on their tips, and you have a nice clear sound. After you have that chord, the next thing you want to do is use visualization to learn that chord. So here's what I mean by that. Let's take that D chord as an example again. So I'll put my fingers on those same spots, and then what I'll do is I'll look at my fingers, and in my mind I'll think, okay, where is my first finger? And so you find it and you think, okay, I can see where it's at. It's on that 3rd string, 2nd fret. Then you do that with the 2nd finger, and then you do that again with the 3rd finger. Then you'll want to take a picture of it in your mind so you get a clear image of what that chord looks like. Then your next step, take your fingers off and just in your mind picture what that chord should look like while you're staring at your fretboard. See where the 1st finger is, the 2nd, the 3rd. Once you have that, try to get them down all at once. Now that takes some time because you're still going to be thinking it through, but the faster you can think of the chord as a shape rather than a set of fingers one at a time, the faster you'll learn that chord and you'll be able to move from chord to chord much more easily. So once you've visualized that chord, and you might want to do that several times, several days in a row, go through those same chords, visualize them, and you'll learn them much faster that way. On top of that, you'll start thinking of them as a shape rather than as a finger one at a time. Your next step then, once you know the chord, is to learn them in pairs or in groups. And you want to do that so you kind of get those chords in context. Because if you're just sitting there strumming one chord all the time, that's great, but very few songs only have one chord. So you'll want to know where the chord can go to or where it's coming from, so you'll have an idea of how it fits into a song. So learning chords in pairs and groups will help you learn those chords better, and you'll learn what chords they usually go with better. So the next thing you want to do, once you have a few chords that you know, is to practice them with different types of strum patterns and in time. So you want to play with a metronome or tap your foot so you get used to how it feels to get that strong rhythm down, and to make sure that you're listening to the chord so that every chord is as clear as possible. Then once you can play with those strum patterns, your next step is to find songs that will help you learn those chords for life, essentially. Because once you have a song or two where you know those chords, when you sit down to do that song, you'll have those chords, and the next time those chords come up, you'll know them even better. And you can find songs in a lot of different places. There's probably millions of them online where you can print up sheet music and all sorts of things. Once you find some songs to practice, just keep working on them. It takes a little while to get that down, and then before long, you'll be able to strum along with a lot of songs that you enjoy. Now, one source that does all of those things is our book, Guitar Chords Made Easy. In it, you'll learn chords in a structured, systematic fashion that will allow you to master chords more quickly. It teaches you chords in either pairs or groups. It allows you to practice them with a variety of rhythms and provides songs to help you keep those chords locked in your memory. Also be sure to check out our YouTube channel. In it, we have some lessons that go along with the chords that you'll learn in Guitar Chords Made Easy, giving you even more to practice. So I hope this video was helpful and that you have some good ideas and some good tips on how to learn those chords more quickly. So be sure to have fun and keep practicing.